Hello. So, it's just been a very long time since I filmed, and I actually used to film me just talking pretty regularly, and sorry, there are roommates here. Um, but it's sort of one of those things, and I get this a lot with writing too, where I'll voice whatever's on my mind or my opinion or something, and then when I go back and watch it later, I think it's so dumb, and like I just think to myself, why did I feel that my thoughts were that important? But and that's sort of generally the experience I had on the main video that anyone who's watching this might know, which was a response to Trisha. I think her username is like Blonde Sundoll for MJ or something. Like, I always, when I see it, I always automatically think in my head that it's saying Bildungsroman, as in like the genre of literature. Not really sure why. But that was the last video I updated. It was a response to Say No to Free Birth Control, and I just uploaded it out of my immediate reaction to watching it, and I didn't really think that it was anything special. It was just kind of me talking. But I actually got a very, very good response from people, which was surprising and sort of reassuring because, like I said, I have this tendency of thinking that whatever I put on paper or in a video is just dumb, and I always just end up deleting it. I had videos before that, but same pattern as always, and they weren't in response to anything, so they didn't really get any views, so I wasn't really reinforced for saying anything. But, I was just looking through some of my recent comments and the feedback on that video, and it's largely positive, and frankly, it just kind of makes me feel like what I have to say is at least relatively important. So, you know what, I figured it's been a lot of blabber, 2.5 minutes in, but I figured why not? I'll just post something, and if, I go through this same pattern of just thinking it's dumb, then I guess I'll just delete it. But I guess the only thing of importance that I have to talk about is not politics, is not about any kind of policy whatsoever. Trisha has been posting some even dumber videos than usual, and that's not to say I don't like her as a person. She just posts some extremely unintelligent things sometimes. But basically I've been seeing a few videos lately on girls and how they treat each other, and I've been experiencing exactly what they've been talking about. Not necessarily me personally, but with, the way that my friends often get treated, and I'm a senior in college. So, when I was younger, I expected that all of this would just be in the past because, in my year, we're 21 and 22 right now. So in my opinion, we're not established adults, but we're emotional adults, I'd like to think. Or at least I consider myself to be an emotional adult as well as the people I'm close with. But that apparently is not the case. And I know for a fact that I used to be not that nice of a person. I used to be, I don't know, I was never ever cool in school or anything like that, and I'm still not. And I always sort of figure out some way to piss off the cool people. I can become friends with, and it sounds so dumb. It sounds like I'm still in high school, but where I go, it's a school of about 4,000 people, most of whom are upper middle class from DC and the East Coast, and it's a relatively spoiled community, I would say, and we don't have Greek life, so it's mostly divided by, it's just very cliquey. It's small enough that we all know each other, but big enough that we can feel separate from other people, and we just sort of naturally divide ourselves into groups. And I think we all kind of complain about it, yet at the same time we all participate in it, myself included. I don't really think I participated in that much because I tend to shy away from groups of girls just because I've never had any good personal experiences or seen anyone have largely positive experiences with that kind of social setup. So I kind of bounce between groups, and within each group I tend to have that one person who I'm close to, and so I'm not, I like everyone in the group, but I'm seeing them specifically. So I don't really feel like I participate in it that much, but who knows, to other people I might. But basically, alright, yeah, see, now I'm blabbering for 5 minutes. Girls, at least at my school, just don't like each other. And it really is pretty obvious in lots of different kinds of situations. Girls are not nice to each other at parties. Girls are not nice to each other, excuse me, at the bars. Girls I think at my school, girls who feel like there's another girl entering some sort of social atmosphere who is attractive and possibly getting attention, which to me is just, yeah, there will be male homo sapiens in the presence of alcohol who will come up to me and give me attention. And do I take it seriously? No. Would I rather be talking to a friend? Yes. But, I'm not rude or anything, but I think a lot of the times girls take that as very threatening, and me saying, look, I'm here, these boys who I don't know or care about are going to be talking to me, and I think that they assume that I feel the same way, which is the root of the problem. I don't really care if they feel that way about me, because it doesn't indicate anything about me. That just speaks solely about them, and where they are in their lives, and where they are in terms of understanding themselves and being confident, which I can say I used to be that kind of person my senior in high school, freshman year in college, and I'm just so different now. But the problem isn't what they feel, it's that they assume that I feel the same way, which just keeps this cycle going. And I hate it so much. And I'm very much into seeing how systems of power are sort of implemented in everyday situations, most notably with racism. All these books, those are all on racism, because that's like what I study. That and sexism, and I sort of just have, so my point is that I sort of have this tendency of thinking that the reason why girls do this is because, not necessarily because, but it really benefits men. Because if men can get women to turn against each other and not communicate, then I know I study stereotypes, so it's wrong for me to say, but men can go off and be dogs and not get caught because the girls aren't talking to each other because they hate each other. And if they step in and see that they almost objectify themselves by sort of men I'm talking about, by perpetuating this process of letting girls think that they own them, and that if another girl comes in, then they're threatening some ambiguous form of male property. To me, it's just messed up on so many different levels, and I could be completely wrong in how I understand this. Maybe I've just taken one too many anthropology or psychology classes to be, form an accurate opinion of what's actually happening here. But the moral of the story is that girls need to stick together, girls need to be nice to each other, girls need to have each other's backs, especially when boys are involved, because ladies, the boys are the ones that will break your heart. Actually, friends can break your heart too, but if girls can stick together confidently and just love each other and trust each other and offer each other genuine compliments, and for me, I try to achieve that with girls I don't even know by doing little things at the bar. Like, when I'm going into the bathroom and a girl's coming out, I hold the door for her, and I say, you can come out, and I give her a smile, I'm not trying to, get her to like me so that, I can, I have no agenda. It's just a nice gesture. Really, my only intention in doing so is to show her that, hey, there's a girl at the bar where many girls feel threatened, and say, look, I come in peace. I don't mean anything by this. Or sometimes, if I'm waiting at the bar for a drink and I can see a girl's next to me and she's been waiting for a while at the bar, I'll, bring up small talk, and if I'm drunk enough, I'll be like, you know what, girl? I got your drink. We've been waiting here for a long time. And girls need to make gestures like that to show each other that we aren't all assuming that the other one hates us. Because in fact, sometimes I come home from a night out after making these very small gestures toward other young women, and I hate that I even have the habit of saying girls because we're women now. But when I make these gestures toward other young women, I come home with a very positive response. And, I think, wow, I met so many nice girls tonight that I could potentially be friends with and maybe grab lunch with and vent about things with and be there. Obviously I don't know these girls, so I'm not like dreaming about how I'm going to be her bridesmaid or anything, but just knowing that I could help a girl at in some sort of social situation who might have felt threatened when she came there, leave knowing that there was a girl there who was really just nice for no reason. To me, that means so much more than getting any kind of male attention, than looking hot, than getting plastered. To me, that when I come home from the bar or a party knowing that I sort of bonded with some girl there who I didn't know before, and now I'm going to say hi to her on campus when I see her, and, maybe, like, next time I see her, like tell her that we should go out sometime together. Like, to me, that is the epitome of social success at college. I do not care about men. I mean, I care about men as human beings, but I do not care about them as gender. I don't count on them, I guess is what I'm trying to say. No, because I want to reiterate, I don't not care about them, I just do not count on them. And instead I place that kind of need for closeness with other women, because at the end of the day, I'm not going to graduate dating my future husband. I'm going to graduate maybe with a bridesmaid or two, or maybe a friend that'll help me later on, who I can help later on, to me that's just so much more meaningful. And all of that positivity can happen if girls just understand that we don't hate each other. And I think each of us understands that we aren't like that, but it's the root of the problem is the assumption that every other single girl is. Every single girl that she doesn't know, she'll know that her friends aren't like that. She'll know that she isn't like that. But until girls go out with the conscious awareness that girls aren't like this, is when world peace will be achieved, in my opinion. That's an exaggeration, but I guess that's all I really want to talk about tonight. If you're a girl and you're in college or high school or whatever, be nice to other girls. You don't even understand how much it'll pay off. Trust me.